See, I'm finding like to myself also, I'm questioning that in every call with the people, I myself do give these reasoning that without modification, the only substance that human being can consume is the fruits. But end of the day, I also had been consuming grain and this. So I found myself in a dichotomic situation. You know, whatever I am proposing, I'm not able to fully understand that, perhaps. So at the first step of the inquiry, inquiring means observation of the ideas in life. Ultimately, what happens through inquiry? We dissolve ideas. The ideas are dissolved, rather. Let's put it that way. The ideas are dissolved. So food, this morphed food or the modified food, is the first and foremost influence in our life. Seems like on the question of that, I'm not getting attached to it, let's continue it. So I question myself, why not to lead a life without any modified food for some time? I have not yet. All were theoretical, kind of. So that led me perhaps to this understanding that if I'm denying this fact, then I'm not eligible for the inquiry, further inquiry, because this is a very small step. Here only, if I'm failing to inquire, then larger intellectual explorations is just intellectual masturbation. You know, we are talking.
But again, it becomes like a step-by-step thing, doesn't it? If you say that this is the initial stage of it, and then I'm just wondering, are we setting up some hierarchies?
No.
And also, when we are, say, attracted, and then looking at that attraction without justifying it and without demeaning oneself, would that also not be the natural
So
way of living?
this is not a. So if somebody is not eligible, we are saying, it doesn't mean that we are demeaning that individual. Not eligible is not a demeaning of an individual. We are not looking down at that individual that you are not eligible. Chat, kind of. So what we are proposing is the fact aspect that if you are not imbibing fruits in your life as food, because without food nobody can survive. Food is very much primary requirement of the body. Any intellectual discourse discussion can forgo, but without food you cannot survive. So in that primary aspect, are you looking at the fact or not? That's a simple question that I'm trying to put forward. Then we'll come to that depression, we'll come to the frustration, understanding of the frustration, dream analysis and everything. But at the first place, are you with this fact or not? Like over time in many intellectual discourses and conversation, we were discussing, Binal, right? That most of the people looks like they are on cooked food, heavy grain food, all those kind of like. So this is a primary exploration that you are not. So we are not talking about the step by step that start eating fruits, then only come to the inquiry. It's not that. But it's like if you are inquiring but ignoring the fruits, then you are just assuming that you are inquiring. That's what is the proposal.
So can we put it that including fruit in the diet, but at the same time, when the attraction for something comes up, like any ideated food, then without seeing that attraction, without the thing, it's not discarding fruits, but having that plus, whatever may come up.
See, attraction is a sensation. Attraction is a sensation. Now, when you are experiencing that sensation and you are leading yourself to an action, that's a sensational action. Can I understand this at the first place or not? So after understanding at the deeper level, should I encourage or continue doing it or stop it? So we are not giving any instruction. I'm just asking, what is the natural progression? The natural progression, like that,
Yes,
that
well
simple
said.
question, that stealing. I think Anshu Nandini to know this. We just came across an analogy of that should we go for a slow progression, step by step process through practice, or instantly should we, or should we not should we, but how can it happen instantly? If that's a question, then an individual, Gaurav Goel, I think Binal, you have also joined the Telegram group, right? So that individual has started attending few of the sessions.
There is a Telegram group also. Sorry
Yes,
to interrupt.
there's a Telegram.
I was not aware of.
Yeah. Have you joined the Facebook group, Gaurav Goels? There's a Facebook group and the Telegram group also. So anyway,
Okay.
the example that he gave, I found it's very meaningful. That suppose in your house, one individual, the housemaid perhaps, is found to be stealing. So stole 50,000 bucks. So now, will you propose that individual that tomorrow is steal 40,000, the next day 30,000, next day little lesser, like this, or you'll ask that stop stealing? So where the method or slow progression, that slowly, if it is stealing, then it has to be stopped. Nandini, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, but I was so hungry that I'm eating mangoes. Look.
So yes, so should we continue our conversation on Zoom, or any other question or any point, reflection?
We can come back to Zoom in.
Yes. So, yeah, so how this particular way of presentation is happening, I'm going to show. Yeah, let me move the video to the side. So we were on this. So you could get the answer how we found this particular phone number as
So
idea.
yeah, you had applied for a premium subscription, and in that you kind of changed it and customized it to your
Yes.
phone
So when
number.
you are a premium member, then you have an option to customize your ID. So that's how we chose those numbers. And the password can be changed anytime. Yeah. Right now, let's talk about the in-meeting tools. So when you enter Zoom, at the footer, you will find these all tools available. Starting with the audio, which has an option of mute. Then if you are on the laptop, then you will be able to correlate this also, because at the below the toolbar that is appearing in the footer are quite similar. The stop video, then security, participants, the number of participants and all will be appearing there. Then there is an option of chat, like in meeting chats also can be possible. Then there is an option of screen share, the green option. And next to that, on the screen, on the PowerPoint that you see, the pause and stop button for the recording, because that particular session was getting recorded, and that recording sign was appearing at the top left corner. Do you see recording? Yes. Then closed caption, you can ignore it for now. The closed captioning is that for the subtitling. of the session. For that, a few third-party apps needs to be connected. So let's ignore it for now. Then breakout rooms, like suppose if you are doing a large group meeting, large group session, you can give some activities to the participants, splitting them into small groups. Like you remember Binal LSUC small group conversation. So similar way, breakouts. So breakout rooms can be created by you for your participants, and you can allocate specific participants to specific rooms for conversation. And as a host, you have the right to go in to the specific rooms and be a part of the conversation, come out again, go to the other room, so that those all things can be there. So one of the participants in a specific breakout room will become a host, co-host rather, to control the particular meeting, that small meeting, small group meeting. Right. The next is the reaction. Reaction is that giving smileys and all, or raising hands option also will be there. And this apps are the third-party apps. If you have included any, then those apps can be seen in the next option of third apps. And then the whiteboard is a new option that is included in the Zoom separately, exclusively. Even before the session starts, you can start creating a whiteboard, and that can be included in the session. So we'll, slowly and gradually we'll explore all those things. Whiteboard is nothing but a writing board that is available on Zoom. So if you have a writing tool, like for example, if you're using a tablet, then on that tablet you can write. There are electronic pens available. Or otherwise, I'll show some devices which can be attached to the laptop, which are called pen tablet. You can note it down, pen tablet. So that pen tablet can be attached to the laptop, and that also can be used for annotation. That means writing. Very comfortably you can write using pen tablet or a tablet directly on the screen. Yeah. Now let's.
I had a doubt
Yes.
about this pause and stop recording. For example, in this particular session, first
Yes.
half we discussed about the food, which is not related to the Zoom thing. So, is it possible to create a separate
Yes.
clip
Yes.
and then start again the recording and afresh of the Zoom?
Yes.
So, for that we have to close the meeting and restart
No,
the meeting, or
no. Just stop button. Stop button. So this is another facility within the Zoom that one gets. For example, in our previous assignments, the topics, when the topics used to start, I used to restart the recording, stopping the previous portion of the recording. I restart the recording, which gives the two separate files. One is that pre-facilitation conversation, and second is the facilitated conversation. Right. So facilitated conversation will be a separate recorded file that will be created by Zoom. So what will happen, after you end the session, you need to keep your laptop on for some time, because the conversion will happen. Whatever the recording happened, that is on the cloud. Now you need to be connected with the internet and keep your laptop open for 10-15 minutes per hour. Like 1 hour of session versus 10 minutes of extra time for getting that ready, conversion, depending upon your computer's RAM and all. So it's a if the computer, the laptop is not too old, then it takes around 10-15 minutes, like around 4 GB RAM if you have, then it's good enough to get it built in 10 minutes. So then Zoom gives you a folder. After converting the recording, Zoom gives you a folder. It comes, gets downloaded by default. Then in that folder, you will find as many files that you have created within the recordings. Right? So those folders will appear. Is there any question? Any other question?
How are you using this current feature, new feature that of you
Yes,
next to the
we're
slide?
we're coming to that. So now let's talk about the audio settings. Audio settings, when you see that mic icon at the left below corner, mic icon, there is a drop up option, arrow, small arrow upward. If you click that, then this particular image will appear, what you see on the presentation, that select a microphone, etc., select a speaker. And the last option is the audio setting, which is blue, that ribbon. Blue ribbon is coming, and which is actually with a red box. Red box is on the presentation that I have given, but that blue ribbon will come on the Zoom itself. Those who are on the laptop, they can try it also. Yeah. Then when you click that audio setting, then this right side, what you see, the rectangle, that particular box will appear. So there you'll see the test speaker option. So whether your speaker is working or not, you can click that test speaker, then you'll find music coming. So that means your speaker is working. Then test microphone option is also there. You can record your voice, and that recorded voice will be replayed, so that you will be able to understand that whether it is working or not. And so next to test speaker and test mic, there are drop down options, where if you have multiple speakers connected with your computer, that will appear, and you can select the specific speaker that you want to use. Same goes for the mic also. Next to the test mic, there is a drop down option where you'll find the list of the mics that is connected to your computer. And below both speaker and microphone, you see a volume bar. So you can control that, sliding it right and left. Right. Next to that is the suppress background noise. Like if you are in a very noisy place, then you can opt for a high suppression of the background noise. So here suppression doesn't have a problem. Otherwise, we do not encourage suppression. Then music and preferential audio show in meeting option. This I never used. I don't know what it is. Right. So ringtone also you can ignore, because if you are using any line-in connection, like that's a advanced tool where people may skip the internet connection, but through phone line can join the Zoom meeting. So we normally don't use it in India that much, so we can ignore that for now. Right. Now going to the next is this particular. This box is little bit replaced anyway. So the next option is the stop video, that video icon. So in that, the drop up arrow is there. When you click it, you'll find the video setting option, where the with the video setting, you will go to the similar interface where in the audio option, now it is on the video option. As you see, the right side window will open and it will showcase your video. And as you see the camera right side, there is an option called camera, and below which there is a drop down. So if you have multiple cameras connected to your computer, that can be listed down there. That will be listed down there. And then you can choose the camera, different cameras. Right. Then, yeah. then you can opt for the HD output or the original ratio. It is if it is below HD. HD means high definition. The clarity of the video will be much higher if it is an HD option. But if you are using a background, virtual background, we'll discuss about the virtual background later on. But if you are using the virtual background, for example, right now, my virtual background is the presentation itself. So this particular video that you are seeing right now or in the recording, that will not be an HD video. Because with the virtual background, the technology cannot maintain the HD video so far. Now, you can opt to mirror your video or not mirror. Mirror means my left hand appears to be left hand only right now. But if I opt to mirror my video, then the left hand will look like a right hand, like in the case of mirror. Now, there are touch-up options like that. Your appearance can be beautified. You know it on the mobile also it comes. So you can touch up that. Then adjust the low light. Yeah, that can be auto opted, or if it is too low light, then you can actually enhance the light technologically. So yeah, so Binal, that always display participants' name on the video. Do you see? That was the option that we chose when it started appearing the participants' name on the video. Earlier in SciSolution videos, the participants' names were used not to be appearing. Now it is appearing. So this is the option. Anshu, any question or any contribution? If I'm missing something, skipping something.
No,
Nahi bologe.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, yeah, I have not used that extensively. So I think you have used more extensively than me. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm
So
getting
just
to
in
know
case,
more things. Yeah.
just in case you find that I'm missing something, please intervene.
Yes, sure.
Right. Now the next option is the screen share, which is extensively used for presentation facilitation. Because normally we use a presentation to propose something, then we can be definitely in an inquiring facilitation. It is a flexible presentation. It's not a rigid one. So when you hit the screen share, then you will find this particular window appearing. This white window below will appear. You see below the video. So just minutely look at it. There is a basic, advanced, files. 3 options. Basic, advanced, files. Do you see? Now the basic is selected by default. When you opt the screen sharing, when you click it, the basic will be selected by default. Under basic, there are options like the screen, complete screen sharing, only a whiteboard sharing. Now you can also project your iPhone or iPad directly on the Zoom meeting. That option is also there. Then you can specifically any window which is open, that also can be selected. So at that point in time when this screenshot has been taken, for me there was a Google slide, Google Chrome was open, as you see the below first option, and then the snipping tool was open. So whatever you choose, that will be shared the moment you hit the share option. Now suppose any audio file or a video file that you want to share, like for example you are using a YouTube video for your presentation. Now on the particular Google slide Google Chrome, the YouTube is open, but when you share, the audio will not go unless you share the sound. There is a bottom option. At the bottom there is an option share sound. So you have to click that share sound option, and then it will be shared with the participants. Right now, screen, when you opt for the screen sharing, then whatever is happening on the screen, that will be visible to the participants. But when you pick up a specific window, that specific window only will be visible to the participant. So now it's actually an option for you. In few cases, you have to go for sharing the screen, but it is ideal that you share the specific window so that the rest of the things are not shared in the session. Right. Whiteboard is same annotation interface where you can use a pen tablet or any writing tool to write up. An iPad, iPhone can be shared. Actually, this particular Zoom creates a Wi-Fi environment around you, which can be listed in the iPhone, iPad's Wi-Fi available. So which will appear as Zoom Binal, Zoom Ansu, or whatsoever the Zoom's name. So that Zoom Wi-Fi environment needs to be connected with the iPhone or iPad. Then the screen can be casted within the Zoom interface, Zoom live session. Right. So this is. Now next is the advanced option. When you click the advanced, then you find these all options. The first option is chosen right now. Right now, whatever you are seeing, that my video is coming as a small portion, which can be though increased, like this. The video can be increased also. It can be resized to smaller. Yeah. So the first option, the PowerPoint as a virtual background. So for which you have to download or have PowerPoint on your computer from the slide which you have created. So that PowerPoint file needs to be there on your computer beforehand. Without that, this feature cannot be used. Right? So that is being used. The moment you select it, then the window will appear that select the PowerPoint. Then you select the PowerPoint from your computer, and it will start appearing within the session with along with your video. So this is actually the PowerPoint is being used as a virtual background. Right now, the next feature is another useful feature. Is a portion of screen. This is very useful, and you have observed. If you have observed, we have used it in the past many times. Suppose on WhatsApp, on web WhatsApp, some portion you want to highlight in the session, a small portion of the screen. If you share the screen, then that small portion will be lost somewhere. So when you just select that portion, it's a square window will appear, and you can just select it, drag it, resize it. So when you share a small portion, that will be zoomed bigger for the participants. So that's a portion of the screen. Now you can use this next option of the computer audio, means a small audio file, any audio file if you wish to share, but not the screen anyway. So just the audio, then you can choose this one, and the video option is also there next. And then the fifth option that you see below is the content from second camera. So suppose you have multiple cameras attached to your computer, and you want to share the content from the second camera, which is being captured, any other thing that you want to show to your participants. So for that second camera can be chosen. Now you see the files option, the next option, basic, advanced, and files. Now this files option actually is a facility that is offered to you to connect to your cloud contents. So for cloud contents, as we started understanding the Google Drive, similarly, there could be a different cloud that we can use, like for example, the Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Box, and Microsoft SharePoint also. So these are actually the similar options as it is offered by the Google Drive. You can create. There are free versions. Some portion, some minimal size is given for free. Then it is a premium where you can purchase the space. So that way, these are the options available. Now pinning the speaker.
There
I
are
think, yeah.
presentations
question?
where in the background you would, there would be a chalkboard, like a green background, and the name of the presentation would be written, like when you are presenting, doing a workshop, for example. For example, Sci Solution, Nature and Life, or Let Us Inquire. That's in the background.
Yes.
So that is through that PowerPoint as virtual.
No. So that for that actually you have some other options like you see here. Do you see the background and effect? If you come below 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, seventh option, background and effect. Do you see that option? Yeah. So when you click that, then you'll have options to share. Let me stop sharing. Let me try and share the screen if it can be available. Yeah. So I'm just going to the. Can you see my screen now? So I've just clicked that next to the stop video option. I've just clicked the options available, select a camera, the different cameras are shown, blur my background and all these options. Then choose virtual background. Do you see? Choose virtual background. My cursor, can you see my cursor?
We can only see one static PowerPoint of pinning the speaker as the slide.
Now what do you see?
The home page of
My computer.
yeah.
Okay, I understand. So this cannot be shared. In live session, it cannot be shared. I have to use the screenshot to explain it. So anyway, so choose virtual background is one option that comes up in the where you get the video settings. You are on laptop, right, Pinal? So you can just click that stops video, the arrow, upward
Yes.
arrow next to the stop
I
video.
can see background and filters.
Yes, just
as an
click
option.
that.
Yes.
So
And
background
then
filters. So now in that you'll find that background. You'll find that virtual backgrounds. There are virtual background, virtual filters, avatars, kind of. Do you see that?
I only see blur and then none. These are
Yes.
the only two options.
Yes. So other things at the top you see plus image, add image. You see that?
Yes.
So with that you can keep on changing the background. See, for example, this background I have just changed. You see my background now changed.
Yes.
So I picked up the way you propose that if something is to be written. So that this particular image you have to keep created earlier, so which we will explore how to create these images. So, but you have to keep it created, then it needs to be chosen for the virtual background. Right, we have around 1 minute to go. Any question, any point? Any further question?
I'm a little lost.
Yeah, because you are using only phone and this is being discussed for the laptop. So you can ignore it for now because these all ornamental functionalities, you don't need all the functionalities for presentation. These are just available tools for emergency purpose or for any need, it can be used, but without using these ornaments also, the facilitation can go on.
I also want to understand to use the different cameras again
Cameras for laptop?
for, yeah,
Yeah,
for the
we'll discuss
presentation.
it. We'll discuss it. Arrange a laptop, then we'll explore it. Yeah. Right then, I think few seconds are left.
Are we rejoining or we'll do it again next week?
Should we tell me?
We'll complete Zoom. I'm asking, how about Anshu and Nandini? I'm okay with it.
Okay, let's rejoin
I
for
can-
10-15 minutes. I have another
No.
call to come up, so 10-15 minutes will conclude.
Okay, yeah.
Sure.